Hey everybody, and welcome to the end of the day 18 of the Legends of Novus Kickstarter. Didn't have much for activity today, thanks to the couple people that joined or might have changed your pledge amounts. Greatly appreciate that, and for those of you that continue to watch these videos and be part of the Novus community, I do thank you for that. Now, today I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I discovered Kickstarter and how I decided to make a small game before making a large game. And I wanted to do that so you understand that I gained a bit of experience with a different game before fully completing Legends of Novus. And so that game was called Duel of the Dragons. And if you look at my history, you'll see that that is the first and only game that I've actually created. And it was a small game with about 82 backers and about $1,300 raised. So a big thank you to those who supported that game and made it come to life. And that was delivered in a very short time frame, kickstarted in September and delivered by the end of December. And what I found with this game is that it really taught me about how to do the graphic design for the cards, how to figure out how to do the proper spacing for card backs, how to get the right lineups in terms of making sure that everything gets centered, that you have the right kind of iconography and readable text, and also about playtesting with people online and print and plays and developing a community of people. I didn't go as extensive into community building as I have for Legends of Novus, so there wasn't a Duel of the Dragons website and there wasn't a Duel of the Dragons Facebook group because I really wanted to keep it small, low to the ground, so I could just deliver a game to just a small community and see how that went. And it was great to see from start to finish how Kickstarter worked before I got into a big project like Novus, because Novus means a lot to me, and I've invested a ton of time, energy, money, and just personal commitment to make this happen. And so has the artist. Andrea is really, you can tell by his art, you can tell by the graphics that he's designed for this game, how it's evolved, that you would have seen in yesterday's video. That whole evolution of Novus came from my commitment to grow the game and Andrea's commitment to grow the art and the graphic design. But none of that would have been possible if I didn't realize how Kickstarter worked in the first place. If you ever did want to check out Duel of the Dragons, it is actually available now on DriveThru Cards. They're the ones that made this original game, and just trying that out for the first time. And basically, it's a print-on-demand service, and that gets my feet wet as fundamental games on how to just sell individual games through an online forum instead of trying to go directly through retailers. So it's a new start or a new avenue for Fundamental Games to sell its first official game, but it's a card game only. It's not board game. And one of the cool things I learned about Duel of the Dragons was about stretch goals, and something as simple but unique as these foil cards that you see here, these foil dragons. They're actually what made the difference in the game funding, because about 40% of the backers were excited to get the foil holographic cards, and I don't blame them because they did turn out very well. We put the full art on the back because you don't randomize the dragons anyway, and it was nice to see those artists' full work in display on the cards. And then the front, for those that went for the Elder Dragon level or Ancient Dragon level, got all of those Ancient Dragons in foil. Otherwise, the deck that's available right now still comes with all the dragons, so you still get all different types of dragons, and you get the art on the back, just not in the foil. So you can check that out if you want to see some videos about it. I highly recommend Two Gun Pixies. Sounds like an odd name, but they run an interesting podcast that's all about playing games and rating games, and he did about 5 videos on Duel of the Dragons, and that was another experience that I discovered through Kickstarter, is that some people buy your games just to play them and share information about them, and I had nothing really to do with John, who did this, but he just decided to go ahead and put all these videos online, and surprisingly they were all positive and didn't give any negative downturn on them, which means he and his friends enjoyed the game. And that says a lot about the game design and what it could mean as it pertains to Novus. Because if you can build a 49 card game that some people love and enjoy and have been able to play a lot, then it does mean that Novus has potential as well. Didn't just create this as my first game, hoping that nothing without any experience behind it. And Novus has been played many times by many different people, and the overall consensus is that it is a fun, engaging, epic game. There's going to be more happening in the coming days. I know I mentioned that in yesterday's commentary, but you'll see another podcast coming from Lake Leafy, from Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, and you'll see another podcast coming out on Tuesday with the Brawlin Brothers, and that was a fun one to talk about. So, and then of course the Gamma, I've talked about that a few times, but I really want to see what kind of energy and excitement that can bring to Novus just in a live experience with the demo going and with the flyer handouts to actual people in a convention, because I don't get the opportunity to do that where I am right now. So anyway, we'll share some more information with you tomorrow. We're on to day 19, and so we're over that mid hump and on the way on the downswing. And over the next week, I'll probably do a little bit more in terms of just trying to reach out to different game groups online and just see what kind of engagement I can generate that way. I actually have a week off work on vacation, so that gives me some more time to play with Novus and see what else we can do to get the word out there and share this game with everybody. So thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.